Hello, good morning. I'm Sonali here. For class 10 science, we have a chapter named How Do Organisms Reproduce? So there are different ways, different kind of organisms will reproduce in a different ways. Okay, so plants and all living organisms like animals, plants, human, all are having different methods for reproducing their kind of generation. Okay, so sometimes they reproduce by the cells, sometimes they reproduce by the eggs, sometimes their reproduction is a totally different way. Okay, means they are giving birth to their own way, like. Okay, so what are the topics we are studying under this? Do organisms create exact copies of themselves? The importance of variation, modes of reproduction used by single organism, fission, fragmentation, regeneration, budding, vegetative propagation, spore formation, sexual reproduction, reproduction in human beings, male reproductive system, female reproductive system, what happens when the egg is not fertilized, and reproductive health. So each part by part, each topic we are going to study under this. Okay, so let us see now one by one. First we will see how the organism create exact copies of themselves, how it is possible. Okay, and what is the importance of this variation. And there are different methods, like amoeba will be doing with the fission, and regeneration will be done by like lizard and other. Budding, like hydra will have small buds, and that buds will grow as a new generation, like this. So before we discuss the mechanism by which organism reproduce, let us understand why do organism reproduce. Okay, so we can see, after all, reproduction is not necessary to maintain the life of an individual organism. Unlike essential life processes such as nutrition, respiration, excretion, all the essential life processes like that, reproduction is also one of the life process, and which is essential for to reproduce the similar kind of generation or species again. Okay, also if an individual is not going to create more individual, a lot of his energy will be spent in the process. Okay, and if it is not done, that species will get extinct also, like that. So that is why different ways are there to reproduce their kind of, like you can see the cow is giving birth to another baby cow, like this. The birds will give a birth with the help of eggs will be hatching, and the next generation will be coming out. Like it is observed that we notice organism because they reproduce. So if there were only one non-reproducing member of a particular kind, it is doubtful that we would notice its existence. Like for example, dinosaur now we are hearing only on paper, we have not seen the species, so species got extinct, like that. So that is why it is the large number of organism belongs to a single species that brings to our notice. So we can say here by reproduction they are having a large number of that species, same type of species can be reproduced, and that is why that species is present, existing around us. Otherwise that species will go for extinct. Okay, like this. Now how do we know that two different individual organism belongs to same species? So how we know that they belongs to same species? If they are not looking alike, or if they are very much different in looks, but their behavior, their organism, their way of particular activities will be same, and that is why they are, usually we say this because they look similar to each other. Like we can say they are offsprings, and we can say because they look similar to each other, so we can say reproducing organism creates new individual that looks like them only. Okay, like we can see here the pups of cats and dogs, so they are like the reproducing organism create new individuals. Okay, do organism create exact copies of themselves? So yeah, they try to create exact copies, means all other mechanism in the body, organs, everything will be same. Looks might different sometimes because of genes. Now the process of reproduction is called DNA copying. Okay, so DNA copying is, we arrive at a thought whether do organism create exact copies of themselves. Okay, so either whether they create exact copies. So let us see here, like reproduction, you can see the horse and the baby horse, elephant and the baby elephant. So organism create new individual which look very much like themselves. Okay, like body designs are similar, like you can see the hen and chicks, you can see zebra. So all are creating. Now organism looks similar, body designs are similar, blueprints have to be similar. Okay, so they are having exact copy. Now reproduction is making copies of the blueprint. This is only called reproduction. This is called double helical structure, like a chain kind of structure weaved into each other, ribbon like structure, that is DNA. So we can see here, like species are producing copy of themselves, like organism look similar, their designs or body designs are similar. We can see here the animals are reproducing their own way of, their own type of, so their blueprints has to be similar because their organism look similar, body designs are similar, so the blueprint should be similar, and it will be the gene will be the carrier of any kind of characters, any kind of behavior, any kind of looks. Okay, so that will be coming on the DNA. So DNA will have chromosomes and the chromosomes will be carrying genes. Now these are reproducing cells, okay, like a nucleus and chromosomes. So nucleus and chromosomes, you can see here, this is called chromosome. Chromosome will be carrying gene material. The chemical reaction is called DNA copying. Okay, and what happens in DNA? DNA is like a double helical structure. RNA is ribonucleic acid, that is a single helical structure that helps in only protein synthesis. DNA is a double helical structure, and the chromosomes will be carrying gene carrying material will be on the DNA. Okay, now are they identical? We have to see that. Okay, so identical, they are not identical, they are similar. Similarity means like every human being will have lungs for respiration, like that, but it is not necessary how the structure of that, how the where it is situated, where it is appearing, how it functions, everything might be different. Okay, so the importance of variation, what is the importance of that variation? Okay, so identification will be easy if the variation is there, as well as the different kind of variation we can see. Now see here the different species of butterflies, different species of we can see here different species of fishes, giraffe, camel. So population of live in well defined places. Okay, and this is the importance of variation. So they can live in well defined places, and like we can see polar bear exists only in the snow clad areas, so cold countries, because their body is designed such a way. So the polar bear is well adapted to Arctic environment, as their white fur will help them blend in with the snow and ice, and they have that kind of sustainability towards it. Then we can see here the water bodies or the plants. Some plants are near the water body only, some plants are the desert plants, some plants are obtained only in plains, like you would have seen. So like that, temperature can go up and down, so depends on that area will produce particularly that kind of crops, or animals can survive in that particular area, like that. So water levels also can vary, and depends on that the animals will stay, or meteoritic hits. So because of that you can see the existence of animals and plants. So if this drastically altered population will be wiped out. So drastic alteration, if it happens, like a dinosaur type population will be extinct completely. So like that, like some variation are present in plants also, like you can see this plant is not existing now, like Indian pipe plants earlier was photosynthetic due to presence of chlorophyll, but during the course of evolution it lost its chlorophyll and becomes saprophytic. Okay, so this variation in plant mode has helped to survive till date. So because of that, now they are not green anymore, they does not have chlorophyll. Now if there were population of bacteria living in temperate water, okay, we can see here the population which is living in temperate water, if the water is been changed, sometimes they may not survive, or if one or two survives, then they can take the species ahead, otherwise the species will be extinct, like that. Okay, but if the water temperature is increased by global warming, most of them will die. Okay, so that will only happen if water temperature increases. If one or two can survive, they can take the species ahead, like that. Okay, like we can see few variants resistant to heat would survive and grow further. So few variants are very strong, they can resist that heat and they can survive. If they survive, their species will be extinct. Their species will be going ahead. It will not become extinct. Otherwise, it will be extinct. Okay. Now, variation is useful for the survival of species over time, if we discuss. So variation is must, that is also must. Okay. Now modes of reproduction used by single organism like binary and multiple fission, if we are seeing, then they are the modes of reproduction. Let us see. Now here there are different modes, asexual and sexual modes of reproduction. Okay. So asexual reproduction, if we are talking, only one parent is involved, and simple and small organism like microorganism. So here there is no male female amoeba, there is only one parent involved, and their body is only, nucleus is only dividing, and they are become two cells like that, and they are simple and small like microorganism will just multiply and make many organisms. But sexual organisms, sexual reproduction requires two parents, like human, dog, elephant, birds, plants will require two parents, and the chromosomes will be coming, and like that it will happen, the combining will happen, and then the zygote will form, and then the new sibling will come. Okay, like a new species will come. So mode of reproduction used by single organism. First we will see asexual reproduction. How asexual? Like we can see here, this is called paramecium. It looks like a foot, and it will just see there that is a single mechanism. The body will only divide into two, and that two will again divide like that multiple times. So we can see fission, fragmentation or regeneration. Some of the animals can regenerate their body parts. Okay, and like that it will have vegetative budding is there, propagation is there. See, the border of the leaf will have a new plants, or spores formation. There are small spores. That spores will have many small kind of zygotes, and that will give a new plants like that. So first we will see fission. Fission is binary fission, two divide into two. So one cell is divided into two, that two will divide into four, like that. So living cell divides into two equal or nearly equal parts. So like that two cells are generated. That is called parent nuclei to daughter nuclei. Okay, so now two cells are divided, and like that this is called binary fission. So some animals will reproduce like this, their type of new species. Okay, now most of the prokaryotes like bacteria will be in this binary fission. They will divide by binary fission, prokaryotes. Okay, then like some protozoans means you can see euglena, amoeba, paramecium. Okay, they are also like this. Then like this is amoeba is also dividing like binary fission. This kind of method is followed. So amoeba binary fission occurs through any plane, means there is not necessary that this plane only they will divide into two. Any direction their cells can start dividing, elongate and make two different cells like that. So one animal, one amoeba can be two amoebas like that. So they divide into like this, and like this. See, these are two individuals, they can further divide, again they can make. So like that their multiplication is happening tremendous rate, and there are plenty. So hence it is called simple binary fission. Why it is called simple? Because the breaking of the nucleus can happen in any angle, any direction. It's not required any symmetry or any specific direction. Okay, now in case of paramecium, binary fission will occur transverse section. So only transverse section is possible. So horizontally we can see here transverse section is only possible. You can see here, this is the nucleus got elongated, the purple color. Now it is this way only it will break. So it has broken into two. Now they are become two cells, two parameciums like that. So this kind of binary fission is called transverse binary fission. Amoebas was calling simple binary fission. This is called transverse. Now euglena or leishmania, binary fission occurs through longitudinal section. We can see here they are longitudinally breaking it, and by breaking longitudinally you can see the two cells. They are breaking from the center and longitudinally, and this is called vertical binary fission or longitudinal binary fission, because longitudinally they are breaking it up. Okay, so this is called euglenas. Euglenas also asexual reproduction happens. So asexual reproduction different ways we have seen. Now multiple fission seen in Plasmodium or amoeba also. Multiple fission is possible. Unfavorable condition, it occurs during unfavorable condition. Like amoeba becomes almost round, secretes a hard covering called cyst. The hard covering will get secreted and it will make a cyst kind of appearance. That inside the cyst what will happen? Nucleus will divide into many nuclei. nuclei and division of cytoplasm will start happening, and like that amoeba can divide this way also, and multiple fission, and like this, see, we can see inside the cyst cytoplasm is dividing, and as a result many daughter cell will form. So during favorable condition the cyst bursts releasing daughter cells. Now cyst will burst and the daughter cells are releasing. So modes of reproduction used by single organism will be budding and fragmentation. Okay, so we will see the budding and fragmentation also. Budding means there will be a small bud will be generated. Okay, and we can see here a small bud is generated. That bud itself is a new species, like that. Okay, so seen in yeast. Now you would have seen yeast is growing on the bread or somewhere, and sometimes suddenly it starts mold, it starts growing very fast. So how it happens? A small outgrowth is called as parental cell, and nucleus will start dividing. Okay, we can see here, this is the blue color is the nucleus. Now small growth is happening here, there the nucleus start dividing. Now it has become 2. Now it will break from here, it will become 2 cells, like this. Okay, so the one daughter nucleus migrates to bud, and the bud increases in size, and the bud separates and grows further. So we can see here the bud separates and it grows further as a second cell, like this. You can see here the nucleus is gone into that bud. Now fragmentation, the act or process of breaking into fragment. Fragment means pieces. So it is longitudinally, this kind of structures are there, they will break into pieces, and each piece will act as a individual species. Okay, like this, like Spirogyra or Eulothrix. You can see here there is structure like this. So from there only the breaking will take place. On maturation the fragment breaks up to smaller pieces. We can see here the nucleus and septa, here it is breaking, and now see 2 cells are there, spiral chloroplast. So we can see new individual. So one cell is become 2 cells now. So breaking is happening in fragments. So these pieces, this is called fragmentation, and pieces of fragments grow into new individual, like that. So they are called, that process is called fragmentation. Now here regeneration, we will see single organism. This is not common in all the organism, but some organism can regenerate their body parts. So that is called regeneration. You can see here if the body is broken into 2, it will regenerated as 2 individuals, like that. So if the individual is cut or broken into many pieces, these all pieces will grow into separate individuals. So this happens in animals, like many fully differentiated organisms have the ability to give rise to new organisms from their body parts. Okay, so like that, any part of the body which is broken, that will start generating a new species, like that. So many species can be regenerated. Let us find out how regeneration happens. It is not happening in human, but some animals it is possible. Okay, so like specialized cells should be there, like proliferate, to grow or produce by multiplication, cell division. Specialized cells should be there in body, so they will multiply and grow and make up a complete organism. And large number of cells, we can see here the large number of specialized cells are there which can multiply, and cell types and tissue will change, because when the regeneration will happen, so cell types and tissue will change, small changes will happen, and the regeneration will happen. But their body will not be so efficiently working like a human body, but yeah, they can regenerate. You can see here the animal. Now suppose the part has been broken, this part is broken, now it starts regenerating into a new animal. Okay, so organized sequence and the development will be there. You can see here this part is generating now, and organized sequence, see, one part is having upper part, one part is having bottom part, that is individually making a 2 individual creatures, like that. So regeneration is possible in some animals. So it is not same as reproduction. It is not same as reproduction. It is different. It is different, and specific cells are required. So it is their reconstruction of entire body from isolated cells when the organism of the body gets cut into pieces. But animals cannot wait to be cut into reproduce, and therefore regeneration is not same as reproduction. Okay, so it is not same, but yeah, the another body, another creature can be generated. Now budding and vegetative propagation is also, few methods are there where the single organism can be made into multiple organism. Okay, so we have seen fission. fragmentation, regeneration. Now we are seeing budding. Now this is hydra. Hydra will grow one small bud, and that bud will be only growing into another creature, and like that it will be separated from the body. So like this the hydra will be, another species of hydra will be created. We can see here, seen in hydra, the regenerative cells are present in them. Okay, these regenerative cells divide, cell division at specific site. Now see here, this is hydra. Now small bud is generated. Now that bud is growing little, and now that bud is become another hydra. So like that, two species of hydra from the bud. Okay, this is called budding. A specific site it is happening. So suppose that it is happening that regenerative cells should be present at that site. So if this site is present, regenerative cells, then it will grow into a bud, and that bud will grow into a new. So these buds develop into tiny individuals. So like that you are getting new individuals are generated, obtained. Okay, when fully mature, detached from parent body, become new independent individual. So new independent individual is obtained, and it will be identical to the original parent one. Now vegetative propagation, you would have seen Bryophyllus, the leaves will start having small plants at the corner of the leaf. That is only happening here. So vegetative organs like plants, roots, stem, leaves will only help in generating vegetative propagation. So you can see in some plants leaves, some plants stem, some plants roots. See like here you can see potatoes you would have seen at home, small plants will start coming out, so it will grow into a new plant. This is Bryophyllus. You can see the border of the leaf will only have a plant, so there only from the leaf new plant will start growing, like that. So this is called vegetative propagation. This is called Bryophyllum. Bryophyllum, you can see like this structure, even roots also you will see bottom of the leaves there. Okay, so I think it's available everywhere around you also, in a garden and all. When you go, that time you can see that this kind of leaves are very common, and this is kind of a wild plant. It does not require much maintenance also, so it is always just growing by itself. Now buds are produced, develop into a new plant. See, now you can see the roots are also there at the, this is a leaf, and the bottom corner of the leaf there is new plant is growing. Okay, this property is used in methods such as layering or grafting to grow many plants like sugarcane, rose, grapes, or agriculture purpose. This purpose also this method will be used. Okay, you can see here like this is the plant. Now this plant, the branch is going down, it is roots will start generating here, and when the roots are going into the plant, that will become a new plant, like that. So it can be agricultural purpose also it can be done, as well as grafting also can be done. So one plant is been grafted on the open end of the another plant, nodes of another plant, so it will take nutrient from that plant, it will start growing there. You can see here, so the vegetative part will be cut and it will be done. Now plants can bear flowers and fruits earlier than those produced from seeds. Okay, now you can see here from the seed this kind of steps will be there to get the flowers. This kind of grafted plants will have fruits and flowers earlier, because the initial growth is already happened, it is not starting from the seed germination. Okay, used to propagate plants that have lost the capacity to produce seeds like banana, orange, rose, jasmine. You will not see the seeds of these plants, but it can be by propagation you can make a new plant, and it can bear flowers, fruits earlier than the produced seeds. Okay, like roses also, jasmine also. Then genetically similar to the parent plant and will have all its characteristics. You will see this kind of gardens will be generated for the plants, for the flowers. Okay, and this is possible. Now single organism, by spore formation and by tissue culture also the reproduction is possible. Okay, you can see here. Now spore formation, this kind of spore is present, and when it bursts, you can see here the mold on the bread, you would have observed it, there is a black color fungus. So there will be, if you observe it under the microscope, you will find it like a small hair like structure with the head kind of structure here, and that head is a ball, and inside that there are small spores, and when it bursts it will just spread that to all like that, and it will make many. Thread like structure is hypha, and hypha will have blobs, this kind of blobs. These blobs will have spore formation. So spores are present in that, and this is called sporangia. Okay, this is called sporangia. Sporangia will have spores present in them. Okay,